Hey everyone, I'm OddSocks and thanks for watching. I'm all about survival and creative games. After being the sacrificial geek and learning the hard way, I'm going to share 10 tips and tricks with you that will kickstart your No Man's Sky journey. These are the tips that I wish I knew before I started playing. They are some of the base fundamentals for stumbling your way through the galaxy. Tip number 1, movement. You're probably thinking, but OddSocks, we know how to use the arrow keys. Look, hear me out. There are 3 types of movement in No Man's Sky: jogging, sprinting, and jetpack. These are pretty self-explanatory. For example, holding shift to sprint while using the arrow keys and space to jetpack. Simple, right? But the movement tip that I wish I knew when I started was that if you randomly punch the air and jetpack at about the same time, you turn into Superman. The formula is quite simple. Sprint plus bash times jetpack equals Superman. After a bit of practice, you'll be traversing the landscapes of No Man's Sky with ease. As you can see by the side by side, it's basically twice as fast to do this trick. There are other forms of movement, but I think for now, we're going to keep that a secret. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button just below the video. Tip number 2, UI and health. No Man's Sky has a very minimalistic HUD, or heads-up display, but one of the most important features is the shield bar. This is in the top left.
Look at that, that's nice and shiny.
This will tell you if you're alive or dead, essentially. Pay close attention to the white bar representing your shields that recharge and protect your spacefaring ass from cosmic destruction. You will know your shields are down when the bar is empty and the screen flashes red, and then you die. Make sure to wait for shields to recharge before fighting any pesky sentinels. This should take about 30 seconds. But this won't save you from overextending with your jetpack. Remember, if you do die, you can always return to the location of death and collect your items. Tip number 3, scanning. Make sure whenever you visit a new planet, you take just a split second to scan each and every little creature and bit of flora that you find. Scanning can be used to add discoveries to your playthrough log, which you can then upload to the interwebs for money.
Wow!
Units, not actual money. You know what I mean. You'll be surprised with the strange and wondrous names for creatures and flora in No Man's Sky. What is he called? Drain Horea. Sounds like diarrhea.
That's nasty.
Tip number 4, game saving. Believe it or not, this can be a bit tricky sometimes. Use your spacecraft regularly to save your game. It automatically saves when you exit. There is nothing more frustrating than doing a heap of farming, but then having to scoot off to the local quick fix for a pre-warmed Hot Pocket and returning to lost time and effort. Remember, you can also install save beacons inside of your base. Tip number 5, money making. Building wealth in No Man's Sky gets easier as the game progresses, but to start off with, gathering salvage data is one of the quickest and easiest ways I've found in the early game to build some wealth. Simply pull out your trusty dusty scan tool and search the area to find buried technology. The icon we are looking for has the appearance of a Wi-Fi signal. Mark that and head for it. At the location of interest, you will find a cache box containing anywhere between 1 and 4 salvage data. 4 of these little gems will get you over 200,000 units, or 50,000 units each if sold separately at a space station trade hub. This is useful early on so that you can buy upgrades. Although, just be mindful because these salvage data can also be used to unlock building elements, so you might want to save them up. Speaking of upgrades, tip number 6 is about refining. One of the things I danced with for way too long when I first started was trying to figure out how to build the portable refiner. I ended up doing a Google search, but it's as easy as hitting Z, which is the building menu, and there it is. But an even better method is to unlock the portable refiner for your exosuit, for on-the-run refining. This thing is a huge time saver. Purchase the upgrade at an exosuit merchant on the Anomaly. Once you unlock it, of course, and you can get it for nanites. Tip number 7, farming. Farming is a critical aspect of early gameplay. The materials you need to be on the lookout for at all times are sodium, oxygen, dihydrogen, carbon, and ferrite dust. These are all fundamental elements that you will need for almost every aspect of the game. Use your multi-tool to zap rocks, and if you want to be MLG, feather the burnout of your tool for faster results. As you can see, it doubles the speed at which you zap those rocks. A pro gamer move though, is when you get into your spacecraft, one of the best ways I found to farm was shoot the ground with rockets and lasers, and you will get tons of resources, especially useful for farming bulk building materials. I would highly recommend this one. Tip number 8, multiplayer. This tip is centered around your personal preference. However, what I'm about to show you is my suggestion for early gameplay, while you are learning the ropes per se. I've heard a few horror stories that range from playthrough glitches requiring a full game reset to bases being glitched by galactic trolls. My personal view is to turn multiplayer off or to limit it for your first few hours playing No Man's Sky. Learn the game first and then delve in. If you think this sounds like a good idea, follow these option selections. So you don't have to completely turn multiplayer off, but it is recommended. Next, turn PvP to off. And this next part is crucial. All base parts and terrain options, I highly suggest you set these to off or strictly to friends, just to save any hassles of someone coming in and griefing your base. So in summary, turn multiplayer off until you've completed all the available missions. Then when you are a moderately experienced space pioneer, go and meet the neighbours for some cosmic silly juice. Tip number 9, inventory space. You may have noticed when you spawn in No Man's Sky, you have a limited amount of inventory space. This can be a little bit annoying. But just remember, every time you visit a new solar system, you can buy one more slot for your exosuit for units from a space station. These will add up quick, so get exploring. Tip number 10, Dialect. When you visit a space station, have a chat to the aliens wandering around. Chatting to them and learning their dialect is important as it will help you understand what they are saying by unlocking singular words. This is especially helpful in certain encounters where there is the possibility of getting an upgrade module for your technology such as your multi-tool. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I'm still new myself. If you have any other tips, leave them in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Later peeps.